Guys, welcome back to episode 15 of Digital by AttentionMedia. And today, super excited because I have an in-studio guest, and not just a guest, but our very own digital strategist, Fab. We are going to be talking all things Facebook ads and doing basically an update of where everything is at with the iOS 14 update. So back in episode 11, we first introduced this topic. We covered off what we knew about it now. A couple of months down the track, a few things have changed, and we want to run you through a simple step-by-step process on what you need to do to prepare your business for the changes that are coming. So stay tuned. Fab and I are going to unpack that next. Welcome to Digital, a podcast brought to you by AttentionMedia, a location-agnostic digital growth agency helping businesses become iconic brands. On this show, we dive into the hottest topics, the latest updates, and what's working in social media and digital marketing right now to get you up to speed and keep you informed. And if you want to grow your business through strategic digital marketing, head over to attentionmedia.com.au, click on the Book a Discovery Call tab, fill out some details, and we'll be in touch. We'd also love to know if you're listening to this show. So please take a screenshot, upload it to your preferred social media account, and tag us at Attention Media Agency. Let's get into the show. All right, so we are on episode 15 of Digital by AttentionMedia. Ludi's just given us the clap in the background, so we are away, we are recording. And mate, it's a really exciting episode today because we have Fab, our digital strategist, in the studio. How are you, mate?
All good. Very good to be here.
Mate, down from Queensland, down from the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
How's the trip down?
Victoria is very cold.
It is, yes. Even in summer, it's particularly cold this year though. Like we haven't had a lot of 40-degree days, but definitely a bit chillier than the Gold Coast. So yeah, awesome. And mate, a quick trip up to Shepparton today. So awesome to have you in the office, and we're going to do a quick episode around the future of Facebook advertising. So this is your bread and butter. You love Facebook advertising, hey?
Yeah.
Sure. This is Fab's domain. He loves everything Facebook ads, and that's exactly why he's part of the team. But what we want to do today is have a quick chat and keep it really simple and condensed for all of the business owners out there or anybody who is running their own Facebook ads and they're a bit worried about all the talk about the iOS 14 updates, right, with Apple. So let's keep it super simple and we're just going to break it down sort of step by step about what people can do to make sure that they're set up once these changes fully take effect. Now, if anybody who's watching in or listening in, we did a full episode on what the iOS 14 update is actually about. We did that back on episode 11. So if you haven't heard that, skip back a couple of episodes, listen to episode 11, and then come back to this episode where we're talking. We've got some more information now, right? It's a couple of months on. We've got some more clarity around what's happening. So today we're going to keep it simple. We're going to break it down and give you a bit of an update on where Facebook advertising is at. I think first question though, Fab, is Facebook advertising dead? Should people be worried? Is it all over? What are your thoughts?
I think it's been now maybe 3-4 years since people started saying that.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true.
We are still, having very good results for our clients. So
that's right.
It's definitely not dead.
No.
It's changing, and it's changing a lot. I think the problem with Facebook ads is that at the beginning, everyone was focusing on tactics and tricks because Facebook, the platform, allows you to play around, to do very, very cool stuff. That it was something new when it started.
Yep.
But now I think it's changing. The way of doing Facebook ads is changing, and it's going backward instead of forward. That means that we have to focus on the basic strategy.
Yes.
Because the strategy we are using now with Facebook ads is the same strategies that people were using with, posters and just newspaper advertising.
Yes.
But the technical stuff and the tricks, all this stuff changes every 2 weeks.
Yeah, so instead of like trying to game the system and like get around the rules, it's more about playing with inside the rules and using sort of best practices to get good results. Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of that is due to the fact that the AI now and the machine learning and everything that the Facebook ads platform is built on is so much smarter and so much more developed, and it's increasing at such a rapid rate that it really is, as you said, kind of going back to just core fundamental marketing principles, right? Like don't be super salesy, don't try and scam people. It's all about providing a really good experience and having a good strategy around your Facebook ads to get the results that you want. Yeah. Love that. So let's bring it back to iOS 14. So Facebook ads, definitely not dead. Billions and billions of dollars still being generated on that platform, and that will continue for several years to come. We know that for a fact. But as you said, lots of changes. And I think we're seeing lots of changes right across the digital industry, right? We're seeing changes due to privacy concerns, due to data leaks. Google is going to be removing its ability for third-party pixels in 2022. So there's lots and lots of stuff that's happening. The changes to Facebook advertising is just one of those. But let's before we get too scared, before we run away from Facebook ads, let's break down what we need to do in order to meet these changes. And for anybody who isn't aware, let's just do a short little summary around what is actually going to happen when the iOS 14 update rolls out. So what's the main change that's going to happen?
Yeah. So basically, what's happening is Apple is trying to protect the privacy for their users. So they are asking if the user wants to be tracked, and of course, people don't want to be tracked, especially after social dilemma and all the.
Why do you think that is though? Like, I think there's a lot of sort of education that needs to happen, but a lot of like people just aren't aware of what tracking actually, like it sounds pretty ominous, doesn't it? Like it sounds a bit scary. But in a sense, if you're not allowing platforms to track your activity online, like what's the downside to that?
That's what Facebook is working on now with his the campaigns they are trying to spread through the platform are around the awareness.
Yes.
So they're trying to explain that the targeting is not a bad thing, because imagine you are just on Facebook and you see an ad about, I don't know, cars. And you hate cars. It's just annoying.
Yes, exactly.
So when you're Facebook and you see an ad around something you like, I don't think it's a bad thing. But this is also the reason why Facebook became so useful in the advertising world, because the ability to track, to target people,
Personalization, like personalized ads.
And this is especially true for small businesses. They don't have the budget to send a message to a million people. So they want their message to be seen just by the people interested in the product.
Relevant people.
So 100%. Facebook now is working on this, just increasing the awareness around the targeting, the personalized advertising, and
Exactly. They've got a big job in front of them, but I think we as an agency as well can also help contribute to that sort of educational process. And I think to make it really, really simple for people, when an app or a website is tracking you, what that actually means is that it's tracking the unique identifier. So it's basically just a number that you have online, right? It has a name. It's the IDFA. So it's the identifier for advertisers. And that little basically piece of code, that little number, is what is tracked around the internet, right? So it knows, what websites you've been on, what apps you've been using, the sorts of things that you've been looking at, so that Facebook ads can be shown to you based on what your interests are, like what you like to see, what you like to shop, the kind of content that you most resonate with. That's how that whole tracking process works. So it sounds a bit scary sometimes, but it's really not. And it all comes down to the fact that if you want to have a great experience on mobile, if you want to see ads that are relevant, if you like shopping online and through social media, then you really need to sort of allow that tracking process to happen. And you can manipulate it, you can change certain parts of that, but unless you want your news feeds to be filled up with a whole heap of irrelevant content, like you said, you do need to allow that tracking to keep happening. Facebook has said that they expect that the changes are going to disproportionately affect audience network, which is the placement on Facebook ads that covers websites and apps outside of Facebook, given its heavy dependence on app advertising. So they're worried about that being the most heavily affected. But Facebook, as you said, have been doing a lot of work in the background to come up with tools and resources and ways to kind of get around this and make sure that the ads platform stays as effective as it can be. So one thing that they've introduced, and this is for anybody out there who is running their own Facebook ads or they're not too sure what they need to be doing, what we suggest you do is jumping into your Facebook Ads Manager and checking out the new Resource Center. So the Resource Center, you'll find that that's a tab that will be sitting to the left of where your campaign tab would normally be. So inside of your Ads Manager, you have your campaign tab, your ad set tab, and your ads tab. On the far left of that now, you're going to have a tab that says Resource Center. And inside of that Resource Center, they're going to have a heap of different steps and suggestions for you to prepare to make sure that you can capture as much data and be prepared for when the iOS 14 rolls out. So one of those things that they're going to mention in there, one of the prompts is domain verification. So tell us a bit about what that is, Fab.
Yeah, basically Facebook, especially moving forward, Facebook wants to be sure that the business and people who are using the platform are real businesses, real people that want to use the platform to do real business.
Yeah, exactly.
So the more information you can give Facebook about your business, we have the business manager verification, now the domain verification, just help Facebook understand that you're
legitimate. Exactly.
You're not scamming people. So actually, the process is pretty simple. You just need to, verify your domain or domains and use those domains to verify the event you want to track. For now, it's not a big deal because Facebook is giving the possibility to track 8 conversion events. So for most business owners and entrepreneurs, 8 events are enough.
That'll be okay. Yeah, exactly. So for anybody who may not have run Facebook ads in the past, when we're talking about events, conversion events, that's covering off on things like website views, adds to cart, purchases. Right, they're the events that you can optimize your ads for in Facebook. So moving forward, you're going to be able to select the 8 most important events that you want to be tracking on your domain. So if you're an e-commerce store, you want to be tracking those metrics about how many website visitors you're getting, how many people are viewing the content, how many people are adding to cart, right? So you'll be able to select those as your top 8, and Facebook will still track what people are doing on your website. So you'll still have that data, right? So in a way, that's just an improvement as well. People can kind of look at this in a negative way and say, Facebook ads are, they're going to be less effective, or, we're not going to be able to have as much data to target people with anymore. But I think what we'll find is that as a whole, the industry will be better for these changes because we will have more verification, right? It will weed out, people who are doing the wrong thing, and it will force people to make sure that they are taking steps to capture their own data, right? Because we know that there's people who come to us who want to dive into Facebook advertising, that sort of thing, and even the basic fundamentals of having the Facebook pixel on your website. For most people, they haven't had that, right, in the past. So it's little things like that which will help businesses get on the front foot and be prepared for when they do run advertising. So I think that's a plus. That's a silver lining out of all this. So that's basically what you need to do if you're a business owner and you're worried about Facebook ads. Jump into your Facebook Ads Manager, check out the Resources tab, follow the prompts, and that will put you in a good stead, won't it? Yeah, awesome. What are some of the changes that we've seen on our end with some of our clients in, tracking and report? So the reporting side of things has been a little bit messy the last couple of months as well.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, the reporting, I think, is the most important part of this update, because one of the good thing about Facebook was the ability to track the conversions during a very long period of time. So imagine if you see an ad and you do something on the website, or you engage with this ad, Facebook was able to track you for 28 days. Now it's moving to 7 days. So that means that, of course, the data on the reports are gonna be like, we are losing information.
Yes.
And that means that probably the costs for the event are gonna increase as well.
That's a good point. Because people could be jumping into their ads manager at the moment, looking at their reporting and freaking out because where they used to have 100 conversions, they're now seeing 20, right? But again, it's not so much that the ads aren't working the way that they should be. It's just that the reporting, the data that we're able to get.
Results.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. The other thing that we've noticed is that people have been jumping into their reporting dashboards in Ads Manager and there's no data being displayed at all, right? And freaking out about that. So talk to us about that. What can we do to change that?
This happens because the old campaigns and the old ad set are still using the 28 attribution windows, 28 days, but the new ones, of course, are using the updated version, so just 7 days. So this difference is causing
some conflict.
The only thing we can do is actually just changing the attribution windows and using the same attribution windows for all of our ad sets. And as you said before, it's not like the ads are not performing, it's just that the report is not.
That's right. It's just the data that's coming through. 100%. I think one of the quickest hacks that I'll call it a hack, but one of the quickest ways I think to get that data back showing in your ads manager we've found is that going to the ad set level, turning off your campaigns, restarting them, and that'll reset that attribution window back to the 7 days. And hey, presto, you've got all your data back. So super quick trick for anybody. If you're not too sure, or you're not too sure about how to work your way around Ads Manager, turning off those ad sets, restarting it, and it'll reset everything for you. And hey, presto, you'll have your data back. Awesome. What else have we got to touch on, mate? I think we had another note here where we wanted to just, I suppose, reiterate the importance of lead generation and capturing your customer and your prospects' data, right?
People are used to use Facebook just to sell their product straight away, and the problem with the campaigns, just if you just try to sell your product to the customer, you are losing all the other people that maybe are interested in your products, but they are not ready to buy now. So using our lead generation strategy allows you to capture the more information you can about your prospect, and then use those information to keep your prospects around your business, and just keep them close to your business in order to be ready when they are ready to buy.
Get them to know, like, and trust you, so that they, when they do want to make that purchase, as you said, your brand, your business is top of mind.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it's so easy to kind of get dragged in the digital and social media marketing world. It's so easy to kind of get dragged into that expectation of, hey, I can put a post out and somebody's going to buy from me, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like when you look back at the other traditional forms of media, whether it's radio, TV, newspaper, like, how often do you think that the first time somebody sees your ad, they go out and buy it, right? Like it doesn't happen that way. So, and that goes back to your earlier point around just going back to the fundamentals of marketing, right? Like providing a good experience, educating people, putting out great content, bring them through that funnel process so that when they are ready to buy, it's exactly the same when you're using traditional media to market as well. It's repetition, it's frequency, and that's the power of building a brand is that repetition and frequency. Like you can't just put one ad out and expect millions of dollars to come pouring in. So really important point to make, and I think that's something that we're talking to about our clients a lot is making sure that you are capturing your own data, getting names, getting email addresses, making sure that you do have the pixel on your website because it still has some validity, and just following the ad platform's best practices, right? Because you're going to be in the best place and be best placed no matter what kind of changes come out in the future. Yeah. And there's going to be heaps. Like, this isn't the end of it. Sure. Like, Facebook is going to go through more issues. Apple is going to come out with more updates. So it's definitely not the end of it. Yeah. We just have to be on the front foot. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Fab, thanks for coming in, mate. Really appreciate it. Hopefully that helps everybody who's listening in, watching in. If you've got any questions, Fab and I are always available. Find us on Attention Media's socials. We're always happy to help, answer your questions, and make sure that you're getting the most out of your Facebook advertising as well. So, mate, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Beautiful. We'll let you catch a train and a plane and travel back up to warm, sunny Queensland, mate.
Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thanks, guys. As always, if you've got any questions, reach out. We'd love to help, and we'll talk to you on the very next episode.
Thank you.
So that's it for another episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. As we mentioned, we'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on this episode. You can do that by heading over to our Instagram at Attention Media Agency and letting us know what your thoughts. Send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. We'd also love to know what you'd like us to talk about in upcoming episodes. So send us your topic ideas. We are always interested. And if you'd love to know more, head over to the website attentionmedia.com.au. That's all for now. We'll see you in the next episode.